Today is Thursday, the 21st of August, 2008, and this is Brian Shannon from Alpha Trends. The market closed. S&P 500 today gained 36 cents, or about a quarter of a percent, but wasn't very convincing upside action as far as I could see. We're right up to that declining 50-day moving average here in the daily time frame, and also just below the 128 level that we've been looking at, and saying that really, if the buyers are going to take control of this market, we need to see it clear 128 to 128 and a quarter. We're right at that 128 level, just below it actually, and we're right at a declining 5-day moving average. So I think that the odds favor right now looking for further downside and for this little rally attempt to fail. As we know, this trend line broke earlier in the week. This was our first level of potential resistance. It seems to have cleared it, at least for the short term, but again, I think this is going to end up trapping more longs than anything. But if we can somehow maintain probably above 128 and a quarter, I'd say today's high probably 128.50. If we can maintain above 128 and a 50, 128.50, then maybe this market's just going to mark some time with sideways action, and we're not going to see a larger breakdown develop. But with that declining 50-day moving average, odds still favor further breakdown in here. And the short-term support has been found at 126.50, so that's the obvious level that we've found some buying in this market recently. Breaking below that would then likely lead us down towards the 125 level. So still a lot of reasons for concern. For today's action, though, it was a little choppy here, and then till about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, the buyers took control towards the close, and not very convincing action, very light volume in there. The financials were down 38 cents. I had the TV on today for a little bit, and they were talking about the move in Lehman Brothers and how that was supposedly bullish, and I don't really see a move in Lehman Brothers here. On this daily time frame, they're talking about an intraday upgrade of this stock based on a takeover. Don't chase those. The stock is telling you that a takeover doesn't look likely in here. If there's a likely takeover, you'd see the stock being bid up, and just looking at a 5-minute time frame, you can see this is probably where that came in, but it couldn't even clear the resistance, from yesterday's highs. So stay away from those types of rumors, I think. As far as the financials go, this level here of prior support that has been resistance for this week at $20.30, $20.35 is the level I had mentioned yesterday. We're still below that 20.35. We're still below a declining 5-day moving average. These financials just appear to be hanging on by just barely hanging on above this $19.75 level. We've got a clear downtrend here on the 30-minute time frame, and of course that hourly time frame. Here's that 1975 level that seems to hold. If this level breaks, then I think it's bad for the rest of the market. So continue to keep your eye on that 1975 level. Financials were actually down 37 cents today, or 1.8%. So I don't know what the bullish feeling on television what that was based upon, but it certainly wasn't reflected in price. So don't listen to the announcers getting excited when there's clearly nothing bullish going on here in this group. The IWM closed weaker than the other markets, so we can see that here on the 10-minute time frame that yesterday we'd seen the attempted rally that failed. This morning we've still got this lower low that came in looking like a lower high late in the day. We're below a declining 5-day moving average, but the one good thing you can say about this market is it continues to hold above that 72 level. Breaking below that 72 decisively, though, then it looks like we're headed right for about $70 a share. We've got this declining 5-day moving average, so odds do not favor a turnaround here, as I said yesterday. So just continue to be very careful in here. The fact that the IWM, which the Russell has been the stronger group, that this was weaker relatively today, it raises more reason for concern. Back to the daily, though, it's if this level 72 seems to be some support. It's where we've got that 200-day moving average. To close out the week below that, I think would be pretty negative. But I don't think we'll probably break below there decisively tomorrow. But market doesn't care what I think. Obviously, anything can happen. So, risk management still. Yesterday, we looked at the USO, saying it looked like this market was stabilizing, and between that 93 and 94 level, and that basically 91 to 90. I'm sorry, 91 to 93, and I said that basically we had broken that downtrend line and looking like the potential for an inverted head and shoulders pattern in here. Unfortunately, if you were looking to trade it, you had to chase that gap higher, which is always a difficult thing to do, to trust a gap higher in a market where we've got such a strong downtrend. But for today, it would have been the right thing to do. And just as far as hindsight learning here on a 1 minute time frame, you can see that it gapped higher up towards that 97 level, sold off initially, but then the buyers took back control right in here with some big volume, took back control of the market, as I said, pushed it back up towards the highs of the day right there, and then pulled back, found support at that daily VWAP, and once it took out the new highs right there, that's when the bullish move that could have been traded really developed. I wouldn't really be trusting this group for an upside trade. Yesterday we'd said that it looked like it had the potential to get up towards about this 97, 98 level, and the next area of potential supply is probably up near that 104. But with a badly damaged trend on the daily time frame, I would say that best left for very short-term aggressive traders. The Nasdaq 100 was down 22 cents today. Let's start back with the daily time frame. On the daily time frame, you can see that we've got a green candle, even though we finished lower. All that means is that the close was above the opening price. The opening price being here, the closing price being right there at $46.87. We had been holding this 200-day moving average the last couple days, but today we broke down through that and closed below it. Found some support maybe intraday at that rising 20-day moving average, and when we look at the hourly time frame, again, these are our key levels that we've had an eye on. Let's actually look at a 30-minute time frame just to get a little bit better perspective. But these are the key levels that we've been looking at as far as this support, acting as resistance and then failing from there, and this prior level of resistance, finding some buying in here, and of course the more important level is down near that $46.10 level. We do still see this declining 5-day moving average, so intermediate term, you don't want to trust it until that 5-day moving average can flatten out to just beginning to start to turn higher. And on the 10-minute time frame, we finished again below, above the open here, but we were still down on the day, and we did make a lower low and failed to make a higher high. So the burden of proof remains on the buyers in this market. The short-term trend is lower, so continue to exercise caution on any long side trades.